So we've been on a bit of a journey here on the Brit Pierce channel looking at all the new NOMOS Tangente 38 dates, getting hands-on with all of them, looking at the specifications and all that fun stuff. But today we're looking at which one I ultimately got for myself. This isn't hypothetical anymore, this is my actual NOMOS Tangente choice. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and this channel is completely dedicated to the beauty and awesomeness of timekeeping. This is my final video on the new Tangentas coming out of NOMOS, which means it's my last video with the Bauhaus set. I kind of like the Bauhaus set. Let me know in the comments down below if you like the pictures up or just a plain white background. But I've kind of liked this set. Something I need to say before we go any further, this video is sponsored by NOMOS. They've been kind enough to send me all 31 colorways to showcase on the channel, and they asked me if I'd be up for making a few videos about these new releases. Which was an obvious yes from me. I've been such a huge fan of the brand ever since I got into watches, so dream partnership. Now, if you've been keeping up with my previous videos, pull up the leaderboard. At the end of my NOMOS videos, we've had a leaderboard of my favorite watches of this launch and explaining my thought process of which watch I'm gonna get and which one will be my ultimate favorite. And we have finally narrowed it down to 2 for the finale. In this corner, in the blue and looking awesome, we have the Super Sardine. And in this corner, in the green, cream, and a bit of red, we have the Schlossgrun. And after hours of overthinking, asking anyone who will listen to me which one I should get. Should I get this one or this one? I have finally decided on the Schlossgrun, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling pretty strong in this choice. It's so hard sometimes when you're spoiled for choice. I'd be watching some of my footage back or some of my B-rolls back, and it would change my mind again. I would see something else and think, oh, that looks really good. Like, for example, the Zircus. In pictures, I would always think, oh, that's not for me, those aren't my colors. But then I'd look at it on film and with the clothes I have, and it really would fit nicely into my collection. I've had this happen with the Katzengold, Canary, Tiefseegrau, or something completely different, like with the Schneesturm. I kind of thought, I like it, but if I'm going to get one of these, I want to get a colorful, out there model. But then I'd put it on wrist and saw it with my clothes and my style, and it made me think, no, like, I really like this. It was so hard to narrow it down to just one because I liked so many and I was spoiled with choice, and I don't do very well when I have too many options. This is such a first world problem. If your biggest problem is, I can't decide what NOMOS to get, you're doing all right. But it was still a problem I had to work through. One of the things I knew for sure was that I wanted a more colorful model. For me, NOMOS and color belongs together. Speaking of which, what am I doing? I need to go switch into a NOMOS. This is wrong. Here we go. This feels right. This feels so much better. This is my NOMOS Club. Deep pink. Come on. NOMOS in color. As I was saying, NOMOS and colors belong together. Getting a color right, and especially using contrasting colors, is not an easy task. In fact, they even go as far as thinking of colors as a complication and take it seriously to get it right. So you have models like the Canary with the yellow dial and blue accents, or say Boya with the really bold use of orange, cream, and blue. For me, it had to be one of the more colorful models, but I've always been someone who prefers cooler colors, blues and greens. So the Schlossgrun just makes sense. In fact, my final 2 watch choices fell within my cool color loving. What pushed the Schlossgrun over the edge for me was how perfectly the 4 different colors work together on the dial. So there's the overall green, the grayish green but more gray color on the subdial, the cream along the outside, and the red in the minute track and the maiden glass Huta at 6 o'clock. To me, this is just mwah. Oh. To use 4 different colors and even contrasting colors and still make it feel cohesive and together, I love it. But this is all really subjective. Some people are more spicy and it's all about the warm colors, the pop orange, sport bunt. There are no right or wrong answers. There's just personal style and preferences. For me, my lifestyle, this is the everyday watch I've been looking for. I work from home making watch videos. I don't really need 200 meters of water resistance in my everyday watch, as much as I love a good sports watch. I need something I can wear under a sleeve, something legible, accurate, durable, and I always want something that has a bit of personality. It has to have a little edge to it, and I think this hits that mark exactly. If you're not as familiar with the Tangente 38, I've made a couple of videos that go quite in depth. I'll put them in the corners now for you to click on. But the specification headlines are 37.5mm case diameter, 6.8mm thickness, so a pretty thin watch, and a lug-to-lug of 47.7mm. It does have longer lugs, so that's something to keep in mind. I'd say it wears more like a 39mm. Like, here it is on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. It does certainly wear larger than you'd think a 37.5mm would wear. I would describe NOMOS as pretty genderless. I think every single watch works just as well on a man's wrist as it would on a woman's wrist or a larger wrist and a smaller wrist. These have a stainless steel case, 30 meters of water resistance, and powering this watch is the in-house manual winding caliber DUW 4101. Now, as I said, these are just the highlights. This is just a rapid fire of the specifications. If you do want to go a little bit more in depth with that, check out some of my previous videos. One of the reasons I fell in love with NOMOS in the first place is that they have absolutely no business delivering us such a high quality of watch for the price point. Like, to be getting a watch that is finished to this degree, it has charm and character, a unique design language, and then the crown jewel, the in-house decorated movements for under £2,000. Get out of here. This is too good. They have absolutely no business being this good, and there's no one offering this much for this price point. Now, if you are still interested in buying one of these and you haven't got one yet, they are all sold out online, but they are still available to buy from retailers. I was in touch with NOMOS and they said all of the watches have now been delivered to the retailers, so they should be in stock. If you are after a specific model, you can click on the model that you like on the NOMOS website, hit Find Retailer, and find your nearest NOMOS retailer. If I was you, I would just give them a quick call before going in, just to make sure it's definitely there, and maybe ask them if they'd put it to the side for you. I just think this has been such a strong launch from NOMOS. The Germans brought it to Watches and Wonders this year. Huge splash. I really think they've been one of the standout brands of 2024. And we're only halfway through the year. If they have any new releases coming out in the future, I'm obviously gonna ask them to send me through a press piece, so hopefully more videos to come of different NOMOS watches. But I feel like NOMOS is moving from strength to strength, and I'm super proud to have 2 of their watches in my collection now. I'd love to know in those comments down below, what colorway would you choose, or did you choose if you got one of these? Thank you once again to NOMOS for sponsoring this video. This whole series has been a freaking delight to make. It's been fantastic being hands-on with all of these and making these videos, so thank you so much, guys. I can't wait for my Schlossgrun. I'm so excited. And now let's thank the gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful Pope tier patrons.